Welcome to the Innovation Conversation, a podcast about innovators, both in business and real life. Hosted by myself, Ricardo Pascual, and Harry McDonough. Today's episode is sponsored by Hyperskill. Hyperskill is a learning and training platform that enables people from all over the world to learn new tech skills. If you're looking to learn new tech skills, this is a platform to choose. You can find out more about them on hyperskill.org. Today we are talking with Lottie and Kam from OttieUp.com about the challenges working moms face in the UK and how they can help. Welcome to the Innovation Conversation. Lottie and Kamila, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We're quite excited about OttieUp, and also you gave an excellent pitch at our first event. So it's great. So people watching, you can actually go on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn and see that wonderful pitch. So tell us all about OttieUp for people who haven't seen the pitch. What is OttieUp?
Yeah, absolutely. So OttieUp is a app that we are in the process of building to help working mothers redefine their careers. So that involves a few stages when you think about the career. Going back from maternity leave and settling back at work, and if you want to change your career or change your job. So we want to support holistically their careers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then what, because me and Harry, we're both men, tell us about the challenges, because it's from our perspective, at least my perspective, it's quite hard to understand all of it. But what are the main challenges women face in this scenario?
Oh, quite a few.
Where do you start?
I'll pass that on to Lottie because she's a first-time mom,
Yeah.
and that's how the idea actually was created based on her experience, and obviously what I have seen it with my clients as well as a leadership coach.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm living the experience currently, and I've always been really career-driven, and when I had Adeline 9 months ago, I was very much sort of in the headspace, like lots of mums are, that you're on maternity leave for the next year, and that's going to be your life. You can't really see past sort of the end of that quite yet until you start looking around nurseries, and that may be for some women 3 months in, it might be 5 months in, and for me it was 5 months in, and I was walking around and thinking, the cogs are turning, I'm already thinking about work. And as much as I love my position, and I've given a lot to the current position I'm in, I don't want to stay there. And actually a word that comes up a lot when we talk about what we're wanting to do with OttieUp is, it's a terrible word, but it's stagnate. Mm-hmm. And that is a thing that for lots of women, you have a child and you want to be there for your child, but you also... You've just worked really hard to get to where you are in your career. Yeah. And do we stop there? Do we say, okay, well, I've got to pick my child up, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So my career has a ceiling until my child gets to a certain age. Mm-hmm. So do I go back to the job that I like, but I want to keep pushing my career forward? And, how do I do this? And it was exactly that with our company, of me having a conversation with Kam going, I need something that is going to help me follow these 1 to 5 steps of how to push my career forward while also being a mum. And particularly having a daughter, I don't want this for her to feel like if she does one day decide to have children, that you have children and there it stops, that you have to decide your career or your children. Yeah.
One thing that is not really talked about it is the fact that women, once they have children, they're being perceived differently as employees. They're no longer employees, they're mother first. Therefore, only 14% of women who have kids are going to be promoted.
That's really scary stat, isn't it?
Yeah, 14%.
Wow.
44%, I think, leaves their job after 3 years of having a child, full-time jobs, because they can't juggle, because there's not enough flexibility for working moms. And as the world is changing, the roles are changing as well. There is a big percentage where the roles are being made redundant. Therefore, the women are being put in different roles what they had before maternity leave, and they now facing, well, I just got back from maternity leave, I'm trying to find my balance between being mother and doing the role, and you're giving me completely different roles. Within the year they're leaving the job. So there isn't people set up for it,
and that is the reality that that workplaces, they're not allowed get rid of you, but they can change your job.
Yeah.
And that is,
and then you want to quit because you don't want to do that job.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it doesn't align with your skills, what you want to do it, and what was the reasons why you joined the company as well. So there's lots of stuff that is happening that makes it much harder for working moms to stay in the jobs, have careers. On your pitch event, we spoke with few moms actually, and some of them, they said like, I just wouldn't even put myself forward for promotion because I know I have to do a drop off. I know I have to do a pick up. How they're perceiving me is different to other employees who don't have kids. And like if you're working for startups, like I work for startups, we don't have that many moms yet. So for the first times moms in startups, it's even harder because they are the first one to have to say, I actually can't do 3:30 or 9 because I'm picking up the kids. Because the other stat is that 70% of responsibility when it comes to children falls into women.
So how's COVID impacted this? Because again, there's working from home, there's the 2-day working week. Has this had a big impact on what you kind of, well, not to say preaching or speaking about there, but again, having that flexibility to go and actually, start a little bit later, come over here, and even the implementation of the 4-day working week, it does give you more flexibility. Does that kind of help out with OttieUp?
Yeah, a little bit in terms of the flexibility that companies are giving because of the COVID, but the perceptions of working moms doesn't change. They're still moms, and the fact that there's less promotion or opportunities, they're not even presented with opportunities because it's assumed they're going to prioritize the family, where men don't exactly face the same challenges. When we look at the stats in terms of the promotions for men and for working parents, when we think about moms and dads, there isn't that much impact for that.
And it's actually a smaller, group of companies, maybe like let's say the more modern approach startups or more modern, more 21st century companies that want to take hold of what COVID, gave us, if we can take any positives from it, is that we trust our employees to work from home. They are going to get things done.
Is the outcome rather than the hours that you're putting in?
Yeah, and it's just not widespread enough. It's still, I'm looking for something working from home and in the area of work I'm in, it's totally feasible, but because it's a very, in some ways, niche area of work, it's still very much, you don't find lots of places that will go, okay, we'll work from home. Do we trust you? Are you going to do the work?
But it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because overall, I read some stats on this, and overall I think women get really the bad end of the stick, because if you have 2 kids, then you don't get as much promotions as you should as a man. You won't get the same level of salary that if you didn't have kids. And then you start thinking, hold on, are we actually taking the right decision as a society for this to happen? Because ultimately we're kind of harming our moms or our wives or our partners, right? And that's just wrong. And other countries do it completely differently. And they enable this flexibility, and childcare is taken care of, and just it's enshrined into law that it's okay to be a mom, and actually it's supported.
Celebrated.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
As it should be.
And the other point that you guys mentioned about the flexibility is that working mothers are faced with the options. Am I taking a job that gives me flexibility but is a pay cut or lower skill job, or am I trying to pursue with my career but I'm not going to get as much flexibility as well? And lots of moms actually, they go freelance after 2 or 3 years juggling and working for somebody. So that's again, this is where they come to us for advice. We can give them advice how you start your business and looking at their strengths and how they can drive their career. So there's a few elements.
Yeah, it's exactly the conversation I had with myself was, do I continue into the area of work that I am knowledgeable and skilled in, or do I go in a completely different direction and go for something that I am overqualified for, but know I could get, and feel like, they'll take me on because they'll know, my CV suggests that I can absolutely do this job, but it's not my passion, and that's all right for them potentially, because they'll think my passion is definitely my family, which of course it is,
and it should be, right?
It should be,
if you have a family.
But equally, it is that that way up of going, what will I be sellable as? What will be appealing to an employee.
But it's such a horrible position to be in, and we shouldn't be asking people this question, which is which one are you going to prioritize, your family or your work? But you can do both at the same time.
Absolutely.
You just need a little bit of flexibility.
With the right support as well. The other thing that we see from research, also speaking with working moms, is that after a childcare break, if you had to take it, or even a maternity leave or 2 years, there is decrease in a confidence. Let's be honest. Even before having kids, females only apply for jobs if they meet 70% of the requirements. Anything below that, they don't even put themselves forward, right? So that's already like a challenge. And then you add to that being off, having a break, and starting your career or changing jobs and stuff like that. That has massive impact how we apply for the jobs, how we speak about our skills, and how we explain that we took 3 years out of our life to be there for our families, and then we want to come back because we're ready as well. So like how you manage those conversations, how you do your CV. There's so much stuff that actually there is on the market in terms of like you can find those advices. But as Lottie mentioned before, a mom will have like on average 2 hours per day for herself when the kids is down, if they have a good nap, right?
If they nap.
So if you have to navigate multiple platforms, that is not the best way of spending your time. And also like there's not always all those platforms will give you upfront costs, will be the cost. And if you have to pay £100 for a conversation with the coach about your CV and how to interview, just for one conversation, £100, that's a fair amount of money that you're asking that person. The same with the trainings, you have to be certain times there, and like again that upfront cost. And we know if you're on a maternity leave or you just had a 3-year gap, the finances might be a little bit limited. So that's why OttieUp will give them access to the trainings, coaching at their fingertips in an accessible way and affordable way as well. And that is taking into consideration where they are at the careers as well.
Yeah,
it makes sense. I think people will be in the position of vulnerability where I think it's completely wrong to be in that position, but ultimately it is what society pushes to be. But it's really good that you can help them out and get to the next stage, right? Because it shouldn't be, how should I put this? You shouldn't suffer because you became a mom in the slightest.
What is the famous quote for that? Pregnant and...
yes, pregnant and screwed. Yeah.
There's a whole book about it as well.
Yeah, and I think we're wanting to start to hashtag pregnant and unscrewed because
it's a good hashtag.
Because we realise it and we feel, I feel it, we feel it.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
have to listen to me feeling all of this.
Absolutely. Like when Lottie mentioned, like she started thinking about going back to work and thinking about changing her career, she couldn't like visualize herself what she wants to do it. And I was like, well, you're brilliant, like, you have so many skills, how you cannot see it? So my job is I'm a leadership coach, so like I coach people for living. So I was like, for me it was normal, like, oh, let's have a conversation about this and this. She was like, but it was hard. So I think for me as her friend, it was really hard to see her going through that, and then also seeing my clients as well. And that happens at every single level. It doesn't matter if you enter or CEO. Females are facing the same challenges, the same questions, and the same choices they would have to make it. So we want to just empower them, saying you can, and you shouldn't like choose between. And I think one other area is that you have app for everything. Your finance, finding your love person, your partner, anything. Yet there's no app that actually would upskill you in a timely manner.
It's a massive life change, isn't it? Because you became from having no responsibility, limited amount of responsibility, to having quite a lot on your plate. So you need some help in that moment, right?
Yeah,
it makes
absolutely.
sense.
So going on the unscrewed bit there, how have you designed something? I know you've got the OttieUp platform and you're very, very early stage.
Yeah.
Can you give our audience a rough idea of how early you are and where you are on your journeys?
Yeah, absolutely. So how we do it is by speaking actually with working moms, understanding what are their daily habits already. So what is it that you want to achieve? Where you see yourself? Have you done any learning so far? What was that? And also like how much they're willing to spend, like to understand what is actually this affordable for them, and in what format as well. So my job is, what I do for a living is a business psychologist, and I specialize in learning and development. So which means I design that content. So I will speak with you we identify that your gap is public speaking, for example, and I'll create content, bite-sized content for you that will help you get where you want to do and where you want to go.
Okay.
And so that's what we want to do it. So at the moment we're speaking with lots of moms, understanding what is it happening
So
for them.
validating your idea at the moment.
Exactly. So rather than telling us like, hey, we're going to build an app, we go, hey, tell us how it's been, being a working mom. And they tell you so much stuff. They will tell you the pain points.
Everyone's very willing to speak.
Absolutely.
So what's the biggest pain point you've kind of seen so far from your validation?
Gosh, time. I think that's probably number one.
Yeah.
I think well-being came a close second.
That they feel like they don't belong in a full-time workforce and not full-time moms as well, so they don't identify because they're just somewhere in between, which we also want to acknowledge within the OttieUp, building that community for working moms where they can go, oh, that's how I feel as well.
This is my badge that I wear.
Exactly. So identity is a big part of us, like how we say, like we introduce ourselves by job titles or something, right?
Yeah.
So with the same with moms, we want them to be proud that they are working moms.
Okay.
Yeah, a sense of belonging in a community is really vital to this app.
It's important as well for the kids, right? Because they can say, look, my mom does this and I'm very proud of what she does.
Absolutely.
And the mom should be proud of raising the kids and still having a job and being good at her job, right?
Absolutely. Well-being is most impacted, I think, for working moms. And that's one of the reasons why they actually would leave workforce as well, because of the well-being.
This is very much a UK problem, because I'm from Portugal and I don't think we have that problem in the slightest. Because you my sister just gave birth recently and you have a baby, the government pays for childcare from 6 months onwards.
Gosh, yeah.
And that's it. And she carries on working. And she'll never get harmed by the fact she's a woman, has a child.
Yeah, which is it's incredible. And it takes us on to actually a really good point of saying that, the UK government is about to pay for childcare from 1 year old, which is when this came in, my baby was probably about 4 or 5 months old, and I literally went,
you can breathe, right?
I can breathe, and it's not a breather of finances necessarily. It's a breather of my life, because it gives me choices, and that's exactly the part of having a job. And we talk about your identity with a job, and so much of that is intertwined, and that's the well-being like hat on top of all of that stuff. And so that part for us, when I was we were starting to just spitball this idea, I said, Kam, this is the government are about to pay more money than they've ever done before for women. That we're forgetting that, of course, this is for families, but this is for women to go back to work, because we know women are the main people at home with their children, and it hopefully I see this picture in my mind of lots of women just like Googling what they can do and how they can do it, and hopefully that would be us coming up going, okay, this is how you get to X, Y, and Z.
Because it went from
this new government initiative. Has this helped validate your idea even further and
absolutely,
push it to the next stages?
Because it makes massive change. So childcare is another massive obstacle for working moms, for moms to go back to work, because the cost of the childcare with the majority of the pay. So are you paying somebody to look after your child, or are you deciding to actually be with your child for the first year or first 2 years? So the support from the government is starting from next year, so they do it in the small doses. So there will be a little bit of support in April, then in September, but overall by September 2025, they will be paid
the whole thing.
The whole thing, Okay. So that means you can go back to work and your child will be in the childcare that you can afford it, because there's a support from the government for the first time.
So he went up from, for the people who don't know, he went up from 16 hours per week, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it's now 30, well, it will be 30.
It will be 30
hours, which
amazing,
is a considerable amount. And it, that's the difference of, I was hearing a woman the other day, and obviously this is different from in London costs of nurseries to outside of London costs, but when the government scheme kicks in for her, it will be a difference of her and her husband paying £200 a month from £800.
Yeah.
And that's That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of money.
I think the average salary in England is like 34, just average, and the average cost of the childcare is 12k per year.
Yeah, you cannot. It's quite hard to manage the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's super expensive as well. I think people don't realize because there is a lot of support, but then when you start doing, okay, how much does an hour childcare actually cost? They're like, oh wow, that's more than I make, which. Yeah. It's no, but I think it's a big issue when you're in a couple, which is it does make at a certain stage, or used to, it makes more sense for the woman to stay home and take care of the child than for them to both have a job, because otherwise you're literally working to pay for childcare.
Exactly that, and that's the whole thing with the support from the government. We believe that women will be like, oh, I can go back to work, and there's lots of research actually. They said if there was a support with the childcare, I'll go back to work, especially for moms. With the kids between 0 and 4 years, they want to go back to work. And let's be honest, we're living in the moments where living crisis, right? Even if they didn't have to before, majority of parents, they have to go back to work to be able to provide for their families as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So you've actually done something absolutely brilliant, I think, which was you found the problem, you're doing your market research,
Yep.
You come up with a solution as well. So how are you finding this whole process of starting a business from scratch? This is your first interaction in business, right? So how are you finding it?
Yeah.
And also another question, which is also explaining it to investors who might not be mums. How is that going on? Because that's quite a challenge.
Take a little step back as well. You mentioned about the validation. What's next after the validation for you?
Piloting the content. So once we speak with the mums, we understand their challenges, then I can create the content and we can pilot that through our social media, our website, a small bite-sized training sessions, events where we can go, like give them the women the tools, and they can implement those tools whatever they are, and tell us like, oh, actually that did really work. So that will be the next stage.
So testing it out?
Testing out, yeah. So creating the content and testing out the content and seeing what impact it has, and then tweaking. That's always the case when you're like learning and development. Like you're designing, you're piloting, like with any product.
No, but it's funny because we talk with a lot of entrepreneurs, but not everyone gets the strategy correctly. But you're literally getting all the steps done correctly, which is kind of
hopefully. We hope so. We hope so. I think we have both. We have the experience and expertise, and we want to combine that. And like what is unique about OttieUp is the fact that it comes from a friendship and from the environment where there's no judgment, and we really want what we have. We find it really special, like supporting each other through any stage of our lives and careers as well. We want to provide that for other women as well.
Yeah, that sounding board is vital. It's really, really important.
And I would say at this stage is having a mentor as well.
That's it. That's the big question.
Yeah.
You mentioned before at the event they were the loudest individuals in
the
room. They had to be shushed.
Yeah, they were the loudest one, absolutely.
He's always going to be.
Yeah, but it's like this is the first time we're doing something like that. We know this is our purpose. That's for sure. Like we want to make this happen, but we also aware of our gaps.
Yeah.
Like none of us has the commercial commercial knowledge,
experience,
raising money and stuff like that. We don't have that. So we were like, okay, we don't have that. Absolutely fine. Who has it in our network? And our mentor was the person. We went to him, was like, this is what we would love to do it. We're going to do it. Would you like to be our mentor? He was like, I love the idea. Yes. So we meet with him every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And we have a to-do list.
Yes, we do.
We have a long to-do list. And it's just really nice to have that sounding board and somebody who actually went through the experience, because he went through the experience of building his business. So he can tell us, and also he can manage our expectations so we don't feel like failures. I think that's how often you can feel when you go, oh, we just applied for XYZ, oh, we were unsuccessful. He was like, that's okay. You knew it, you most likely you're going to be unsuccessful, but you have these learnings.
Or going to events and thinking, oh, we're going to get an investor. And then he's like,
he was like, no. You're going to meet people.
Yeah,
he was like, well,
get it out there.
Yeah. Like when we did our pitch practice with our mentor, he was at the end like, speak with as many people as possible. Like, I'm going to be there. Don't speak with me. Speak with people. So we've made so many connections from your event, starting from that already. And it's just great. It's like, oh my God, like, So it's about managing that mindset and expectations.
Should we tell our audience what actually happened when you delivered the pitch in the event? And I'm looking at a lot because it was a great pitch. So the microphone was not working.
Yeah.
We had the megaphone.
Yeah.
You went on stage and I gave you the megaphone and said, no, I got this. And in front of 150 people in a very loud bar.
Yeah.
You literally, everyone went quiet, everyone listened to what he had to say, and it was like, I don't know, watching a veteran actress on stage type of thing.
And which would
It
align.
was really, really impressive. Yeah.
Oh,
Which would align with Lottie's degree.
Thank you. Yeah, I went to drama school.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I just have my mum in my head going, "You're loud enough, go on." And I also I work with teenagers, secondary
So
school
you need to be,
children.
yeah.
So just the loudness over the years have gotten, I think, even louder. But I think there's something about when I watch people either on stage or give presentations. There's something about wanting to connect with someone on a personal level of this is what's passionate to you, and that's certainly what I wanted to sort of bring across, that how important this is to us. And I felt with a megaphone,
it did stand out. That's what you want to do. That's what you do. You want to stand out in the crowd. You want people to know who you are, what's your story, and if they don't recognise you in that pitch, you're not going to get anywhere. And that's the whole purpose of a 60-second pitch. It's to make you stand out, to make your ideas stick in their heads, to make them remember you. Again, that's what you want at the end. Everyone to remember you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And connect with them emotionally as well. That was the purpose of our first questions. Like, have you ever been demoted or had to take a pay cut, right?
Yeah.
That's emotional. That connects with you.
Connect with the audience, everything.
And it doesn't matter the gender or whatever you are in your life. You might have experienced that, and that's the reality for us.
Yeah. And you get the feeling straight away, right?
Exactly.
I mean, even if you never had kids, have you ever been demoted? Oh yeah, I had that bad experience once. Yeah. I get the idea all of a sudden. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job. We're so excited.
There you go. Pitching 101. Project your voice, know your audience, and connect with them emotionally.
I knew that drama degree would come in here.
So going back to Ricardo's question about becoming investor readiness and getting to that next stage, and take a little rewind. You mentioned about a to-do list.
Yeah.
So whereabouts on that to-do list are you, and how close are you to kind of getting to that stage where you are ready to go out to investors?
Yeah. The really good advice that we have been given is speak with investors as soon as possible, even if your idea is not fully formed yet. Just that puts you on the roadmap with them, and they might give you some advice. So my to-do list now is actually I have a list of the investors for the different aspects, and message them on LinkedIn, saying, "Hey, we have this idea, and if they would be willing to speak with us." Probably majority are going to say no, but even if one person says yes, you might get something out of them in terms of advice. They will go, "Well, have you thought about this?" We were like, "No," but it's a learning journey. So that aspect, that's one. And our second mentor we will be getting now, and they specialize in fundraising as well. So I already spoke with them today. They were like, "We're gonna have so much fun. This is what you have to do." I was like, "Okay, great." So that's where we are in terms of our to-do list for the investor aspect. There's so much to do in a way that I think is really exciting. We were preparing applications for different grants with HSBC and Santander, and you have to do those applications, you have to do videos, pitch decks. Even though they're quite intense, I think we really enjoy them. And then even those questions, they make you think, so what we do, what are our roles? How are we gonna reach our users and stuff like that? They read all those questions, they make you think and prepare for that next stage.
So you're literally proving your point, which is even though you become a mom, you can still be a really, really super professional working mom and actually upskill yourself and learn new skills and add tons to the economy. Because that's literally what you're doing right now, right?
Yeah,
if you can be on maternity leave and start a business, why not? Do both at the same time.
Exactly. But this is the message. More people should know this. They can do it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
I think it's about your why. If you know your why, within the coaching, that's always the first question you ask, why you want to achieve these goals. For us is for Lottie and moms like Lottie, and for me in the future, have options. Know that there is OttieUp where I can go and I can have control over my career.
So would you say building a startup is like raising a child?
Yes.
Harder or easier?
Well, I'll tell you in 20 years' time, maybe. I don't know. It's actually, I don't know. We were talking about the name of our company, and how we sort of it came about, and it's like, you know, if you're naming a child, people are going to have an opinion on that. Trust me. And then with our name, it was a bit like naming a child. We're like, I've got to say it out loud. I've got to tell people.
Well, that's what we've done it as well. We had like few ideas for our names, and we sent it to a few of our friends. So it's like, what do you think about that name? They were, oh, horrible.
Yeah, I hate that.
Horrible. And we were like, oh, what do you mean horrible?
Yeah,
What's
it's so
your name?
effective.
Well, they were like different.
It started all the way back at like, what was the first one? It was like Motherboard.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
that's very
It
tech
was
orientated.
very tech orientated, and our mentor was like, terrible.
No, that was the
Not
first
happening.
feedback. It was like, love the idea, terrible name. So it's just like learning as you go.
Yeah.
I would say, and like what you said, like, is it the same as raising a child? I have not raised a child, but
Both have
definitely
challenges.
both have
very
challenges.
rewarding.
It's very rewarding. Exactly that.
I like that, very rewarding.
Yeah.
It's hard because everything's a learning curve for both,
Yeah.
especially unless you've got loads of kids. But
Yeah.
your first child especially, it's all brand new experience.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you learn
Yeah.
as you go, and same in the startup world, you learn as you go, and you
Yeah.
learn a lot, and you can pass knowledge down to other people, which you're hopefully going to do with the OttieUp app.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That is the goal. That
It
is the
is.
goal.
Are you excited about the future might bring? Or will
Yes.
bring?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very much
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Our goal is to be able to raise the money by March next year to build the app.
How much are you raising, by the way?
Oh, that's a tricky question.
Can we put it out
We
there
will
for,
take all of it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Investors, we take all of it. So like the first stage will be like for the app. So we already have spoken with a few companies about like the costs. So like we would like to raise the money for the app. And the next stage will be like there's more stuff to do it. But the app is the goal, just to get our users to see it, how they finding, is it user friendly, is it achieving what they want to achieve it for them as well. So the goal is next year by March raise money for the app, build the app, and getting our users. So then we can tell you about the traction, how the content is,
definitely.
how the content is being received, is it impactful, and how we're going to measure that impact as well.
Then I'll say, before we kind of wrap up the whole conversation, who would be your ideal sponsor or partner to kind of get on board with OttieUp?
Oh, that is such a good
That's a
question.
really good
Yeah,
question.
shout out on social media. Hey, sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that big name you want
Who do you
behind you?
Oh gosh.
Not Pampers. Should we say
No.
shout out Pampers?
That's a very good question. To be honest, I think because what we're doing is impacting everybody. Like if you feel like this will make change to somebody you know in your life, your sister, your partner, and you have the funds, and you want to invest, for sure. I think maybe that's a question that we have to reflect a little bit more in terms of the investor, but definitely somebody who's aligned with our values and the mission. I think that's very important, where we know what we want to achieve it and how we want to achieve it as well.
There's no space to grow. Have you guys heard that story about this lady who started a baby formula company in the US? So she wanted to buy baby formula. She realized half of it is literally made of sugar, and it's like, this is really bad. So can I make a better version? She can. She's now a billionaire out of it. So there is obviously room to grow, and it's,
Absolutely.
you need to get someone who aligns with your values. Type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big old industry, the mama industry.
That's your one.
Yeah.
Big industry, big money.
But that's a very good question, Harry. We will reflect on
that's
that.
a very good question.
Harry's super insightful. It's like,
Yeah, so my first insight of the year.
if people want to find you, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Lottie?